Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new edition of Lads Discuss Death Battle with your usual, your only mate.
I am having the weirdest case of Deja mustard right now.
And Sean.
Yeah, hopefully I have enough speed to get through this today.
And as well as joining us, you may know on certain Among Us videos where he sabotages Among Us games, Keir Armstrong. I'm hoping I'm saying the name right.
Yes, you've been saying my name right. I've not had to correct you, thank God.
Yeah, I'm very bad with Scottish and Irish names.
Also, rejoice! We finally have someone to replace Steve!
Yeah, fuck
Yay!
you, Steve. We never liked you anyway. Fuck elephants. Actually, don't do that. No, that's...
Yeah, not like that, Jesus.
Welcome on board, Keir.
Thanks for having me on.
So, you are a Death Battle... Oh god, I've already fucked up the intro. You're a Death Battle veteran, like good old your only mate here, is that right?
Yep, been watching the show since 2013.
Oh wow, that's... Was that like a year after it started, or the exact same year?
Death Battle started in 2010.
Wait, really?
Technically.
Yeah.
Oh Christ.
Yeah. Well, it started at the end of 2010.
Yeesh, that's crazy to think, man. Also, did my Discord just go nuts?
That's why they were saying this whole season's like the 10-year death battle.
I see your little message there, Sean. I have my notifications on.
Oh, it's true, isn't it?
So anyway.
Oh, by the way, I just want to throw a quick fun fact. Me and Keir actually bonded over Yang vs. Tifa initially, and that's how we kind of became friends.
Aw.
Nice.
Though I think the first time we interacted was my hype trailer for Goku vs. Superman 2.
Which, honestly, I forgot I left a comment on until he brought it up to me.
See, people, this is what the Lads Discuss Battle is like. It's very wholesome, as we talk about people being butchered to death. Which, speaking of, we're going to talk about which many are considering to be the best episode this season, Goku Black versus the Reverse Flash, or as Professor Zoom, whichever he wants to go by.
You
Or
are
Zamasu.
on.
In Goku Black's case.
And we're not even going to bother doing the whole, oh, let's not spoil it yet. Look, Reverse Flash won. Right.
Hey.
Oh, fucking do that.
Like, let's be real, even though they brought up a lot of facts for Goku Black, which to be fair, I completely forgot about the time ring, 'cause I was like, that could be interesting. But then as they explained everything else of Reverse Flash, I was like, yeah, that shit don't matter.
Yeah, and it's only a matter of time until the time ring comes off.
That's like, how I kind of looked at it in a funny way, saying like, oh, this is like pitting up a lion up against a rhino, but then, oh, it's even because we gave the lion an extra knife. It's like, once you get rid of that knife, it doesn't matter.
Despite the fact that some people say this was a stomp fight, this is the most entertaining stomp fight that we've had.
Yeah,
I would agree.
And funny enough,
There are ways to make a squash match interesting, and this was one of them.
I don't know why, I got a lot of Flash versus Quicksilver vibes. Funny enough, Flash returned, and also Quicksilver made a cameo, and it was quick.
Yeah, dying.
It was quick to the
You know-
point.
Why?
What?
What? Oh, come on, that was
Oh,
not
damn it.
half bad.
So, honest question about that cameo real quick before we talk about the rest of the episode. Do you think that was just animated for this episode, or do you think they reused animation in a clever editing way? Because I feel like they didn't credit the Quicksilver voice actor in the credits, so...
I want to say a mix of both, honestly.
That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking.
I have to admit, like, I love the fact that the fight started off with Reverse Flash going, "It was me, Barry," and then literally halfway through the fight, he actually did cause it.
You can even hear it in the lyrics, too. The lyrics of the song, like,
Yeah.
"It was me," as soon as Quicksilver gets
I
in
love
jail.
that it
that
lines
was...
up like that.
Oh man, like this episode, like even the analysis was super entertaining. Like Boomstick getting like super mind blown over the whole idea of time and space, and even getting really smart when he tried to go into his own little time theory.
I mean, Honestly, the weakest part of this episode was the Goku Black analysis. Like, I was just like, okay.
Yeah,
That was honestly the weakest part.
I think the problem.
Yeah, to be fair to them, they only had like one Dragon Ball arc to work with.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's the problem with Dragon Ball villains, is that unless you count Frieza and Broly, many of them don't get as much screen time. Like,
So,
But I also wouldn't call Broly a villain. Like, not new Broly. Old Broly, absolutely.
I just mean Broly as a character in general, because there's so many like every single time he's come out. Even Cooler, despite the fact he's had 2 movies, and I guess if you want to count him in Xenoverse, he doesn't really have a lot of feats per se. Like, I feel like Dragon Ball movie villains are very unlikely to get into death battle, unless they want to do a battle royale, which would be quite entertaining,
Or they become canon.
or they become a canon.
Oh yeah.
I think for me though, like I said when this episode was coming out that I love learning about the Dragon Ball characters. It's like I really like learning about Beerus, whereas with this one, I didn't really enjoy that Goku Black analysis that too much. I don't really like Goku Black after seeing the analysis.
I think you had to have watched the story arcs. It was generally quite interesting, because before it was revealed who Goku Black was, many people were speculating, why is Goku suddenly evil, and, what exactly happened to this timeline, but admittedly, once it does reveal it is just Zamasu, and honestly, Zamazu's motivations are kind of hypocritical. It's like, oh,
Mortals are evil, so I'll take the strongest mortal's body and kill all of them.
then no one will be evil except me for causing universal genocide. It's like, what? Not only that, Dragon Ball has a multiverse now, so all you've done is just killed one universe full of bad people.
Yippee!
Yeah, when you get down to the very deep motivation, then again, you could say this for a lot of Dragon Ball characters, like villains. They don't have really interesting motives. Like, honestly, I'd say the only characters that had genuinely good motives was New Broly and the Red Ribbon Army. Which I'm very nostalgic about the Red Ribbon Army whenever they're in Dragon Ball. They were very underrated.
By the way, I can't help but notice we're talking about Dragon Ball more than the actual episode.
Okay.
Well, to be fair, we were talking about the Goku Black analysis.
Yeah,
And
that's
honestly, like Gilbart's analysis, you feel so bad for him towards the end of that. Like,
No.
I felt so bad for the guy.
I did not, man. Like, okay, his reasoning for torturing the Flash was just to spend time with him. So rather than doing the most, this episode kind
that part for me, yeah, I can understand. That was sad, but it's just like all the shit he did. Just like, no, I can't feel bad for you. You're a monster.
right?
I get it, but it's just like, oh, that's adorable. Let me rewrite your existence so you forget about me.
That's probably for the best.
Until they decide to relaunch Reverse Flash.
Oh yeah, they're totally going to. Like, it's DC. I mean, if Doctor Doom
And he's too good a villain to let go.
You know what? Funny you say that. This episode kind of made me look at the Reverse Flash not too positive. I remember using to love the character. In fact, this episode I learned so much new things about him. How he went crazy because he felt like he wasn't important to the Flash, so he decided to try and make him like essentially go down the pathway that was set for him. But then when I saw that comment panel where he literally done all this just to be a part of Flash's life, it's like it kind of ruins a lot of classical villain scenes for me. I don't know. I always liked it when he was just a psychotic, murderous speedster, not a what's the word for it? What's the word for those anime girls that obsess over yandere? That's it. Yeah, he essentially became a yandere.
Yeah,
for
that's
me.
it.
When are we getting Reverse Flash Yandere Simulator?
Didn't that game
I'll
actually
give
come
anyone
out
ideas.
finished?
I'll buy that for $1.
On that note, one thing I loved in Thornton's analysis: likes Barry Allen, Barry Allen, Barry Allen. Dislikes Barry Allen, Barry Allen, Barry Allen.
Oh, yes.
I think the humor.
That was good.
I feel like the humor in the analysis was at its best today. Well, not today, but just in, in Death Battle this season. Not saying previous episodes haven't been funny. There's just not really been as many ha-has. They would occasionally get those two little laughs, but then rarely ever again. Even with the visual humor, this.
If we're talking like comedy being at its best, for me, it's that moment where they both go back in time to the beginning of the fight, kill each other, and then just go, "Why aren't you dead?"
Oh yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
I guess now we should move on to the actual fight itself, and yeah, I don't really have any complaints about this episode in terms of the fight. Like, purely, if we were just judging this episode based on just the fight alone, it was kick-ass from beginning to end.
What are we? Every other review channel? I would know because I edit for one, okay? I'm allowed to make that joke.
Oh, okay, I didn't quite get what you were getting at, sorry.
But this was fantastic. Everything was so colorful. Also, fun fact about the those sprites that Goku Black destroys.
Mm-hmm.
It is one of the storyboard artists, actually.
What?
Yeah, turns out that was the storyboard artist, John Mitchell. Do you want to build a universe as he goes by? And I know that it's actually what he looks like because I actually watched his videos back when he reacted to the death battle, so I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Actually, I do need to ask, did anyone else feel like that guy...
Runs like Phoebe from Friends, apparently.
Did you guys at first think that person that Reverse Flash used as a human shield looked a little bit like Wiz?
Yeah,
Not
I
the
saw a
only
lot of
one.
people say that too. Although I saw one comment, or maybe it was like someone in a video, but they thought it was like a young Doc Brown.
No,
Which, given all the time travel stuff going on, I just like the idea of that being the case.
apparently that was John's OC as well.
I don't care. I'm remembering that as Doc Brown
Fair.
because
Makes
that
it
is
funnier
way
in
too
my head.
perfect.
Makes it way more funnier in my head, so I'll stick with that.
Excuse me, sir. I need you for some assistance.
I love
It's
that
annihilated and throws his head at him.
Scott, I'm so fucked.
That was such a Reverse Flash move. Like, there's been times when civilians get killed in like the background of certain fights, but many of them just felt like accidental collateral damage. But this one, like, Fawn, he didn't even need to do it. He was just being a dick.
Oh no, and a little detail. When he puts his hand on that guy's shoulder saying, "Excuse me, I'm in need of your services," like, just look at the guy. He's actually trying to struggle to get out of Reverse Flash's grip, and as he's being blasted apart and screaming, there's tears in his eyes.
Oh god.
Like, holy crap!
This is why I say
Can you imagine?
I enjoy more villain versus
Yeah,
villain
Bill.
fights and death battle. So I feel like there's more creativity to be as mischievous and evil in the fight itself.
Can you imagine though if someone who's never heard of the Reverse Flash saw this and like, oh, this is a Flash. This is kind of cool. Why is the Flash killing people? Would love to see that
Because that's
reaction.
how.
Sure thing, Keir. We'll go with that.
In terms of highlights for me, obviously the one mate said, like, you know, them killing each other from the beginning of the fight and then just both shot at the other's life. But my favorite bit, and I'm probably saying this wrong because it was really hard to hear it over the music, when Goku Black talks about what was the line he said before Fawn running up to him, punching him, and saying like, did he say like, "What's a god to a living paradox"?
Oh no,
Hang
I
on.
think the actual lines were to stand above all things and look down on creation itself. That is the will of a god.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Fawn responds with empty threats to a living paradox.
Okay, that was a yes. That had to be. It's funny how this episode managed to balance both really funny moments, dark funny moments, and a generally really good line. Like, don't think I've ever had like a really good line like that since like Mickey versus Yoda.
I'm only gonna post this once in the chat, but Zach has actually been posting behind the scenes of this animation. You just gotta take a look at this. Like, I'll put it on screen if I can, but like,
Oh
it's
yeah,
amazing what that guy can do.
yeah. I saw
Yeah, I've
this.
been
it's insane that Zach is this talented, and he's been with Death Battle for, God, like years now.
Yeah, I think he left Death Battle at one point, then he returned.
I'm trying to remember what other fights he done. I know he did Ryu
Jotaro
versus
versus-
Scorpion.
Yeah, that was like one of his first works that I remember.
Yeah, he started back in season 2. I remember that much.
He's been there for a while.
Yeah, but then he left to go to 1 Minute Melee, and then he came back. But
This
I
guy's
think
still-
no, his first one back is Android 18 versus Captain Marvel.
That's pretty cool.
That one.
I think that's another underrated Death Battle not many people talk about.
Eh.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's not underrated in this episode. That death.
Oh yeah, out of all the deaths this season, fucking hell, that one actually made me cringe because it was like, oh god, that is too brutal for me.
Yeah,
It's a good thing.
I was actually talking to Max about like who has the most brutal death this season so far. We both agreed like Mikasa, but after this, nope, yep, Goku Black takes it.
Honestly, I'm glad Keir's here, and Bill will also get that reference. He straight up caballed Goku Black.
Yeah.
That's the most appropriate way to put it.
Like, I straight up thought like, oh crap, that was a Cabal move right there. It's the fact as well, you can hear Goku Black screaming even when it shows the Flash running around the entire Earth. And like that, when he throws...
Oh, no.
At the speed of sound.
No, you want to hear something that's gonna make you look at this death even like worse.
What?
So I posted in our group chat. How is he still Super Saiyan Rose? At that point where you see like everything scraped off, like his lower jaw is missing. You can see his broken ribs and his insides.
Shout out to the sprite artist on that, man. They put a lot of detail.
Actually,
into
He's still alive, isn't he?
he's barely alive at that point.
that. Oh god.
That's how he's still Super Saiyan Rose.
Oh Christ. That is dark.
And then just get thrown into the sun afterwards. Like, this is trash now. I need a new toy.
I love the also detail as well is that when it shows the Earth as Goku Black's flying to the sun, you see like burnt marks around the Earth where Thane was running. Farn was running. It's like how fast were you moving, and how many times did you go across a certain country to the point you were literally burning it?
I mean, has to be at least somewhat faster than Cabal when Cabal does it, but Cabal's looks a little bit more brutal, honestly.
Well, yeah, he runs around the entire Earth, throws you, runs the other way back, and then uses the thrust to cut you in half. Put that on screen, Sean, so people get that reference. It's so brutal. And honestly, the actor who did that death scream, credit to you. You generally managed to horrify many people with that scream.
That was Michael Kovac, who most people now nowadays for playing Angel Dust in Has Been Hotel. He was also Shazam.
Really?
Yes.
Huh, go figure.
Meanwhile, Reverse Flash's voice actor is known for playing Ace in Natsu vs. Ace, Ambrosius in Ruby, and the "It was me, Barry" meme.
Oh yeah,
I believe
they actually got him for that. I couldn't think of anyone
I'm
else.
so happy they did.
I don't remember his last name, but I'm pretty sure it was like Valentine something.
Valentine Stokes, I believe it is.
That's what it was.
It's a very British sounding name.
To be fair, isn't Reverse Flash also kind of sounded British in the episode a little bit?
I mean, yeah, he has to, especially after going Rose.
Because everyone knows when you turn British, you turn evil.
Also, apparently, you turn your back on Britain when you knock a teacup out of somebody's hand.
Also, shout out to Max for pointing out a detail I never noticed about this animation. Watch Goku Black's earring. It switches ears like throughout the fight.
That's the problem with
Didn't
sprite
that
works.
Yeah, I know. It's just funny.
Didn't this also happen with Edward?
Did it?
They switched his arm.
Yeah, that's the problem when you're
Oh.
working with sprites, especially as I've done sprite animations in the past. It's really awkward because I remember at one point even trying to go as far as like change up a whole character's arm just so that it matched, but it did get exhausting. So I can understand why they don't bother with that. I'll give them credit if they did ever go as far as to just let one ear not have the earring. That would have been dedication. But I think with everything they've done this episode, they've done enough in terms of the sprite work.
Yeah, like, it's not that big a deal, and I just like to think, oh, it's a magic earring they didn't talk about. I don't know.
Dragon Ball's weird.
Yeah, that's also a thing.
There's probably someone out there though who I've seen many people.
Plus, Dragon Ball have made a bunch of animation errors before, like in the scene where Jiro is getting betrayed by 17 and 18, he has his hand back for some reason.
Oh. I've seen some people make some really minor complaints over the years, especially this season of Death Battle, like very minor complaints. I won't list them, but I wouldn't be surprised if I eventually go onto a Death Battle Discord server and see people complain about that one earring animation error in this fight.
I wouldn't even call it an animation error, I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, in fact, I don't even call it an animation error because they're just using the sprites. So, if anything, it's a sprite issue. But
And those of us that have worked with sprites know that is a pain in the ass to fix.
yeah,
You know what? It wasn't a pain in the ass to do. They made it look good. The hand-drawn segments that we got. My favorite was actually seeing Goku Black appear behind on as he's running. Like that was probably my favorite hand-drawn segment.
I would agree with that too, but I would also say the other hand-drawn elements looked a little weird to me.
As much as they looked weird, I can't deny that the last shot when Reverse Flash destroys the ring and he does that smug look, like I kind of foreshadowed he should do a slow head turn and give off a smirk. So I kind of got my wish, and he's like, "Oh, was that important?" And then he flips him off afterwards.
That has such great meme potential.
No, it
Yes,
does,
it is.
because shout out to Yang and Sang for this. Not long after the episode came out, we were just making memes out of that. Like, when you troll all your friends in Among Us, just that smirk.
Send me that picture if you have it.
I do.
Send
Oh,
it to
God.
me when you can.
Do you know what? Actually, I'm just going to say this right out. That face is being the thumbnail for this discussion. It has to be. That is such a...
Oh, is this important?
Was this discussion important?
I might even just put, like, it was me, Barry. I interfered with the thumbnail. Oh, God.
Speaking of that, that was part of the lyrics to... is it pronounced Reverse Rose or Reverse Rose, do we think?
Reverse Rose.
That's what I was thinking, but accents over the E are weird.
I have to admit, the title...
By the way,
got-
the track is freaking awesome.
Absolutely, that's what I was actually going to segue into. I actually, not only did I really like this soundtrack, I also do kind of find the name of it pretty clever. It's a lot better than Burning... What was it called? Frozen Ice, which was...
Frozen Fire.
Frozen
Yeah.
Fire. Yeah,
It was an ice.
I couldn't... the name is so bad that you can make so many lame titles of it. But I do think Reverse Rose is definitely on the... It is definitely up there with Wings of Iron.
I mean, this was another vocal track from Brandon. My God, this guy needs to give his voice a rest. 2 back-to-back voice tracks.
And fun fact, it's also the second soundtrack this season for a matchup he already did a commission for.
Oh yeah, welcome to the club once again. We introduced you last time, but welcome to the club once again.
I'm going to say, didn't we bring this up last episode?
Yeah, we did. I'm just mentioning, like, both tracks turned out amazing, probably because he had some prior experience with the characters and whatnot. And both ended up as vocal tracks.
I wonder. To be fair, these vocals were done by Brandon, whereas Thundershroud was done by Lady Teagues and Jinko.
I know, I'm just saying they both ended up as vocal.
But yeah, Reverse Rose, really good track.
Oh, yeah.
Currently got it up. Just listening to it before we started.
I won't even lie. After I
Listening
heard
to it that much has invaded my playlist.
nice. But after I heard oh, pardon me, sorry, I drank a Pepsi Max here. God, I'm turning into Rick Sanchez.
Yellow.
Turn into Rick. 100 years, lads, to scuff death battle. 100 years of Rick and Morty.
Oh, geez, Billy, you really think you can go that long?
What?
Billy and your only mate Sean forever, 100 years. 100 years, lads, discuss death battle.
For you.
But I had to admit, after I heard Batman vs Iron Man Suit Yourself, I was thinking like, we've reached our peak with this season's music tracks. I don't think anything's going to top this. Yeah, and then Reverse Flash came in and changed that.
First Rose.
No, I'm saying like Reverse Flash sped in. He wanted to change it. It was me.
He just goes to the jukebox. It was me, Brandon. I'm the one who made the better soundtrack.
Brandon's just like, but wait, I also made this one. He's like, oh. It was us, Brandon.
Let's go weird.
And welcome to
but
Lads Discuss
This
Death
soundtrack.
Battle.
The soundtrack was really good overall, though. Like, I have no problems with this one.
Nor do I.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it was actually up before the fight came out, so it was a nice little prelude into the events.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't really spoil the outcome of this episode, which other tracks have done in the past. I've covered like all the songs at this point.
Yeah, so very obvious in spoiling the outcome. American Phantom is like probably the best example we used there.
Oh no, the
that-
best example is Watch Out Samurai.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, both of them end with the infamous twang of their show, the winners' TV shows.
I will also kind of say Wings of Iron does, because you can hear the Transformers soundtrack in the background. And that was the first song I listened to where it spoiled the outcome. But then I remember Leonardo versus the Red Ranger. You know, good old Jason Todd. Remember that episode? And
Another one to the dump counter. Thank you. I was joking with that statement, by the way.
But yeah, because that one had the Teenage Mutant Turtle theme in the background. Yeah, Leonardo lost, so I think they're trying to be a bit more careful with their songs.
To be fair, I think songs like that weren't released early. Some of the other songs have been.
Yeah.
To give away the outcome.
True, but I stick away from any song the moment it's released. I'm like, I'm sticking away from this until it's out.
I usually check to make sure it's spoiler free before I listen to it. Thankfully, one of the Discord servers I'm in said it's spoiler free. You can listen to it without being spoiled, even though we all kind of knew who was going to win.
Yeah,
I mean,
That's another thing. To quote Yusei from Bonds Beyond Time Abridged, it's not a spoiler if it's obvious.
yeah.
Like, you guys know I don't like Shadow versus Ryuko, and, you know, because it was a stomp fight that I didn't find entertaining. This one...
You weirdo.
I thought this one was really entertaining despite it being a stomp fight, honestly.
I'm probably just going to throw a theory. I feel like the reason you probably don't like Ryuko vs. Shadow as much is because it felt like a pity fight compared to Shadow's previous fights.
Yeah, that's probably why.
I heavily disagree with that.
No, because those fights were more evenly matched for Shadow, whereas
plus
Ryuko was not.
The whole aspect of Shadow coming back anyway, which I wasn't that big on. However, I was big on this episode. I was big on this fight. Like I said, the only part that I didn't like was Goku Black's analysis, and that was just okay. Like, it's not that bad. This is one of the best episodes this season.
Yeah, I thought it was very informative, and, you know, it did make me think, okay, then maybe a Reverse Flash wouldn't be able to kill him off completely, because, of course, the time ring, so he would have to get more creative with his fighting.
Like, just remove the time ring.
Yeah, but he wouldn't know immediately that's what's the...
I know, I'm just... yeah.
Like...
That just shows, like, in the post-analysis, they were saying it also comes down to smarts, and that just shows Reverse Flash would be intelligent enough to know, ooh, I gotta destroy that ring.
I like how they phrased it as he has enough experience with timey-wimey bullshit.
'Cause Speed Force!
And, okay, people might disagree with me when I say this. And I know at some point Goku Black, if this was legit, like a Dragon Ball character, he would have gloated why he's not dying and showed off the ring, like he did in the anime.
Oh, totally.
Dragon Ball villains do that. They gloat about their power and where it comes from. And obviously, in this case, not a good idea to do that with someone that could... I didn't even know he could do this. I didn't know he could channel the destruction of the universe. Reverse Flash. I was like...
That and infinite speed.
Yeah, well, I mean, I knew the infinite speed part, but the fact he can channel the destruction of a universe, I'm just like, excuse me, but when?
And also, take away your time. That's a new one.
Yeah, there was so much stuff I learned about Reverse Flash that even I didn't even know. It's like, hold on, he can steal your time.
So, can we at least... Do we at least agree? Play one of the top 5 episodes this season.
It's in my top 5.
I'd say it's
in my top 5 as well right now.
I'd say it's my number 1.
Yeah. Billy, it's funny enough, because you said this was your new most wanted. And now it's your number 1 of the season, just like my most wanted is my number 1.
I suppose
Shocker.
so. I mean, I do like these
Hashtag
villains.
biased.
I do like these villains, including Goku Black. I think he was a good villain up until you learn his motivation, and admittedly, it was kind of interesting if this was more of an alternative version of Goku rather than him getting his body switched. But aside that, Mind Black, he's still a cool villain. Since we're at the half an hour mark, shall we move on to probably what's going to be...
I kind of want to close this off with a little something.
Sure, go ahead.
So, this fight has ended 2 streaks, those being Dragon Ball's 6-year-long winning streak and DC's year-long losing streak.
I suppose there's a win for you DC fans, so you can stop bitching about Batman. I'm talking to you, Carlos.
And funny enough, Dragon Ball's winning streak started after Goku died, and it's now ended with someone wearing Goku's body.
Oh god,
both of whom dying to DC characters.
Oh, that's fitting. Very fitting.
And DC's losing streak started after Wally West versus Archie Sonic. And now another Flash has come in and got a win.
We've come full circle.
Like, both ways.
Oh my goodness. Do you think they planned that?
No, I doubt it. They don't do episodes just to have certain characters win.
No, but I feel
wasn't Wally West versus Archie Sonic meant to happen this season?
Well, I mean, Reverse Flash versus Goku Black has been requested. Not as highly as certain other matchups, but I generally wouldn't be surprised if, when they found out Reverse Flash won, that they purposely left it at this portion of the series. You know, just for that fact.
Maybe. Final thoughts for me. This is definitely one of the best episodes of this season, and hopefully next time it's just as good. Those are my thoughts.
Better.
Yeah, so I guess we shall go on to the guys of the next episode. After my Discord notification goes off.
Oh god.
It's me. You know what it is. Come on. I had to post it.
Put it on screen.
Oh,
Sean.
that.
Put it on screen.
Party mode engaged. Oh yeah!